Hey, my dudes, let's keep going down the path of laughing, learning, and debating. Next up is the dumbest lottery winners of all time by Sunny V2. You know, everybody wants to win the lottery, but it tends to fuck up their lives. So let's in let's enjoy let's enjoy their misfortune.
Throwing a £3 million lottery
Here we
ticket in the
go.
bin to spending an entire $16 million prize in under 90 days. These are the absolute dumbest lottery winners of all time.
Look at that guy. He just
beginning
looks
with
like
Jose Antonio Quartok, who almost lost his entire lottery fortune after getting someone else to claim the money for him. You see, when Jose won the
Oh, come on! Now you just know that that is a boneheaded thing on so many different reasons, right?
$750,000 jackpot back in 2010. He was
Wow,
living in the US
at that.
illegally,
Like
so Jose
ancient.
asked his boss to claim the prize on his behalf, as he feared he couldn't claim the money without potentially facing legal trouble and deportation.
Ooh, dude, just think about that. Like, you win the lottery, but you can't claim it because you're not a citizen. Like, why are you even playing it? You just totally
This worked out
risking yourself on
perfectly
that one.
until Jose's boss began to falsely state that he was the one who had actually purchased the ticket. Taking legal action against his boss
True, I
was
guess
risky,
they don't really
given
know
Jose
who
wasn't
actually
supposed to
did
be in
take
the
it.
country at all. However, given he had security camera footage of him purchasing the ticket, Jose did so and was able to prove that he was the rightful owner to the $750,000 prize.
At least everything.
Only
everything worked out.
$250,000 this went to taxes, another
Yeah, that would do it.
$250,000 was spent on court fees, and throughout the legal process,
dude.
Jose was jailed for drunk driving and was deported
no.
back to Guatemala as soon as he won the court case.
And so he didn't even get deported because of the court case, but because he was drunk driving. Like, you have to feel bad for the guy, but it's just a terrible decision.
As Denise Rossi wasn't so fortunate. When Denise won a jackpot of $1.3 million back.
And think about it: if he has 250,000 US dollars, and he got deported back to Guatemala, I think he's living like a king. Like up here in the United States, like that 250 is not gonna wouldn't really get you very much. So hey,
Back in 1996,
maybe everything
she'd
worked
been
out
married
for
to
him.
Thomas Rossi for over 25 years, yet their relationship was apparently lacking in transparency, as Denise didn't tell her husband about the win, and instead filed for divorce only
Oh, dude, if my wife
11
did
days
that,
after
oh,
buying the lucky ticket. I was afraid to tell
No
Thomas
good.
because I knew he would try to take the money away from me. I went to the Lottery Commission office and told them I was married but contemplating divorce. They told me to file before I got my first check, which I did.
What's that?
Denise was
Shouldn't
initially
matter.
successful in hiding the money from her now ex-husband, as for a whole 2 years after their divorce,
Ouch,
Thomas had
dude,
no idea that Denise
ouch.
had ever won the lottery. However, in May 1999, a letter was sent to Thomas's home address, asking if Denise was interested in a lump sum buyout of her lottery.
Oh, dude, could you imagine getting that letter? Oh, that would just be be so up and down and up and heartbreaking.
Winnings. This was the first Thomas knew about the.
But why did he know what the letter said though? Because I mean, he would have had to have illegally opened it. So really, he should be in trouble
lottery
for that, I
prize.
say.
He confirmed that Denise was a winner with the California lottery, and given they were still married at the time of the win, Thomas launched a lawsuit stating that he was entitled to half of the prize money.
Yeah,
The
makes
judge
sense.
specifically
I
found
would do that
Denise's
too.
failure to disclose the lottery winnings constituted fraud, oppression, and malice, and as a result, the trial court awarded Thomas 100% of
Oh shit! Oh, dude.
lottery winnings, which
Dude.
left Denise with less
Oh,
than nothing,
man.
considering she
I wish
also
that
had
was
to pay
the
for
dude
her
with my
own legal
ex-wife.
fees. However, Denise's
Oh my
loss of
God.
1.3 million was still nothing in comparison to Evelyn Adams. Dubbed
That
the
is
luckiest
terrible.
woman in America, Evelyn Adams became the first person in human history to win the lottery twice. Initially
Dude,
for
lucky.
3.9 million in October 1985, before winning another 1.4 million only 4 months later. With the
That
probability
seems
of this win being
sus.
approximately 1 in 17.3 trillion, everyone
Yeah.
seemed to realize that she had no lottery luck left by stating that she was going to quit playing, and instead began to buy various businesses, including the convenience store where
Hey!
the tickets had been purchased.
That's a
While you
smart
could argue that this
idea.
was a smart move,
Like, you know, if I was to win the lottery, that is essentially what I would do. I would want to invest it, essentially invested it into my future. I don't want to just stick it in the stock market. I would want to have my own business. So hey, I like what
Evelyn
she's
still
doing.
hadn't fixed her gambling problem, and instead of
Oh,
buying
well,
more lottery
there you
tickets,
go.
she instead took the rest of her winnings to the Atlantic City casinos, where she lost her entire remaining fortune
Oh,
to the slot
man.
machines. Without any money left,
To the
her
slot
business
machines.
failed one after the
Like, come on, if you got that kind of money, you don't play the slot machines. And do you know how long it would take you to lose that amount of money in the slot machines? Oh my
and by
goodness.
2012, Evelyn was living in a trailer park while stating to the media, winning the lottery isn't always what it's
Oh,
cracked up to
dude.
be. Kelly Rogers likely had a similar
That
outlook,
sucks.
as after winning over 1.8 million pounds at the age of only 16, her life
What?
was also ruined. Initially, Kelly stated, "I will not go wild and spend loads. I'm going to take some advice and see an accountant."
You just cannot get that kind of money when you are that young. It is gonna fuck up your life immensely.
Hopefully, I will make us all comfortable. I want to help my family, but I won't change. I just want a normal home, nothing posh. I just want a normal car as well.
That's all well and good, but you know a 16-year-old is not going to follow through.
However, as soon as she received the money, Kelly instead spent £11,500 on
See?
2 boob jobs, 3
On two boob jobs. Did she not like the first boob job, or did she get her best friend a boob job? I mean, I'm okay with spending the money on boob jobs, but hey,
£300,000 on clothes, makeup, and tattoos, as well as
300,000 on clothes, makeup, and tattoos. Dude, that's a lot of clothes and makeup. Like, and your body's going to be ever changing. Like, what a waste.
£85,000 on top of the range sports cars. Kelly spent a
That's
further
okay.
£250,000 on holidays to locations including Mexico and Euro Disney, £118,000 on gifts to former boyfriends,
118,000 on gifts to former boyfriends, not even current boyfriends. What the hell is wrong with this lady?
£190,000 in unreturned loans to friends and family members, and £50,500 on solicitors' fees, all of which being purchased while she was still in high school. Kelly did make a few smart purchases, such as an £180,000 bungalow and a £96,000 home for her mum. However,
Yeah, because
by
you
the
gotta
end
pay
of
the-
the year,
pay the
Kelly was back to
taxes.
square one, being on welfare with only £2,000
Oh
left
my
in her
God,
account.
after just
She
a
since
year.
stated it was too much
How can
money for
that be?
someone so young. Even if you say your life won't change, it does, and often not for the better.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just wish
man.
I was a bit older at the time of winning it, because I think
Look at that. And she doesn't even have that very many tattoos. What the hell?
at 16 you're still just a child, and overnight you've just got to grow up and become an adult.
Which is probably why she's now an advocate for raising the UK's legal gambling age from 16 to 18.
Yes. That's a
Kelly
pretty
Rogers
good
certainly
idea.
spent her money poorly. However, at least she had the chance to spend it, as 25-year-old
Even 18 is almost
Detroit
too young,
was
to
no
be
longer
honest.
alive by the end of her
Bad
spending spree. When
Photoshop.
Amanda won the $1 million jackpot back in 2011, it seemed as though her life had been changed overnight. However, her win quickly became controversial after the media learned that she was still collecting food stamps and benefit
Oh,
payments despite
dude.
having won the lottery.
Dude,
woman is now
that is
the
just fucked up.
second lotto winner in the state to keep taking food.
That is just.
Hitting it big.
And did you hear that was the second
$1 million
auto
and
winner.
took home a $700,000 lump sum. The 24-year-old says even though she now owns 2 homes, she figured she was still allowed to use her bridge card.
After being confronted
That
about
is
the behavior,
ridiculous.
Amanda had the following to say.
I thought that they would cut me off, but since they didn't,
I thought they would cut me off. Not that I thought I would have to oh gosh.
thought maybe it was okay
People,
because
people
I'm
are
not
like
working.
that. Don't
Shortly
deserve to
thereafter,
win.
she was charged with 2 felony counts of welfare fraud
Yeah.
in order to pay back the
Okay,
$5,500
Brett Favre,
worth
Jesus.
of food stamps she'd received. While Amanda quickly paid the $5,500 back, she
Oh,
never
easy,
got the
she had
chance to spend
millions.
the rest of the money, as only 6 months later she
Oh,
would
no.
unfortunately overdose in one of her 2 homes.
He says
What
she was
the-
tormented by the fame and the problems that came with winning the lottery.
No,
the point of having
help
money
the
if you
problems
can
with
have
her,
happiness?
He said
with
she
her
didn't want the money
decisions.
anymore and bought things for her family and set up college funds for her children. He says she
Well, that's
only
good.
had $67,000 of her winnings left.
The end to Amanda Clayton's story was somewhat unexpected. However, a 2-second glance at Ryan McGee is more than enough to predict that this lottery win would eventually end in disaster.
I know nothing about the
After winning
European
£6.4 million
million stuff.
back in 2008 at the age of 27, Ryan was placed on the Sunday Times Top 100 rich list for young people. He purchased a luxury
Nice.
mansion in his home country of Ireland.
That's
which
a luxury
featured 5
mansion?
bedrooms, an indoor swimming pool,
Oh,
a full
nice.
champagne bar, and a 2-car garage where he kept his brand new Ferrari 458 Italia. However,
I like that.
as you might expect, swimming pool
Like, come
in his
on.
home country of Ireland, which featured 5 bedrooms and
Like this bedroom is
indoor
ridiculous.
swimming pool.
But this indoor swimming pool, that's a nice swimming pool. And then,
A full champagne.
dude, I would love to have something like this in my house. This place to entertain. Look, it even has a freaking stripper pool. Like, what the heck?
Pain bar and a 2-car garage where he kept
Even though this garage looks like
his
one
brand new
you get
Ferrari
from an apartment
458
complex.
Italia. However, as you might expect, this is
I would
where
never
things
buy a
began to
sticky
go
car like
terribly.
that.
Only 3 years after buying the Ferrari, Ryan slipped off the road, crashing the car into a field, mainly because he was driving in the snow.
That's what
Locals
always
were amazed
happens
Ryan
with
was
people.
driving the Ferrari in that weather, especially when he had a more suitable Range Rover he could use. The Ferrari was not understood to be running on winter tires, which, while costing around £4,400, hugely boost grip and
Yeah,
handling
but
in
it still
icy
wouldn't be a good car to
conditions.
drive
Ryan's
in the
property
snow.
development business then dissolved, which was accompanied by a divorce from his wife and the sale of his luxury home. Then, 2 years later, Ryan McGee was pulled over driving an uninsured Ford.
There has to be so much more to the story than he crashed his vehicle, and then his business shut down, and then he got a divorce. So there's a large gap in between that.
Focus without a license.
on.
However, the most interesting part is that he had to claim legal aid, which is a service for those who are unable to afford a lawyer. Now, Ryan McGee was a complete idiot with his money. However, he still looks like Albert
Most
Einstein
people.
when compared to Martin Todt. When Martin and his wife Kay won £3
That's an
million
interesting
back
name.
in 2001, they didn't go in to claim the prize because, well, they had no idea that they were winners. They'd purchased a ticket in passing, completely forgotten about it, and would only come to
See,
realize that they were the winners after hearing about
I don't even want to know how many lotteries I could have won by this
the
same
unclaimed
exact
prize
thing.
over 6 months later.
Like, my
the
memory
main problem
is
was that
terrible.
at some point, the ticket had been misplaced or thrown out completely. Despite frantically searching, the pair couldn't find their ticket, but were sure they had won because the jackpot numbers matched the ones they used every week. Computer records in their local Londis proved Kay really had purchased the ticket, and the thrilled pair rushed to tell lottery organizer Camelot to
Oh, that's even worse if you use those same numbers every single week, and that's the week they hit.
claim
It's
their
like
prize. But they fell victim to a little-known rule, stating lost tickets must be reported within 30 days. After 45
Well, that's actually pretty good. I didn't realize that you can say that you lost a ticket and be able to get it back. Like, I would think you would need the physical ticket.
5 days of deliberation,
Interesting.
Camelot told the devastated couple that they would not be collecting the jackpot, and as a result, the couple's marriage eventually came to an end. We'd only known each other for 2 years, and the lottery ordeal quickly highlighted our differences.
That
All we
would
did was
happen.
bicker. Sadly,
Yeah.
both of us agreed we should
That's
split and became moving
that is a
out.
lot
One
of
seems to have
bickering.
convinced himself that losing the ticket ended up being a good thing, having stated, "For a long time I lost sight of who I was and what I believed in. But I can honestly say I'm glad I didn't get the $3 million."
You're only saying that because you didn't get it. Like, come
Now,
on.
there is no guarantee it would have brought me happiness, and if there's anyone else who would have agreed with this statement, it definitely would have been the most miserable lottery winner of all time, William Post. When William won a
Name sounds very
$16.2 million
familiar.
jackpot back in 1988, he had just $2.46 in his bank account and was able to purchase the lucky
Nice.
ticket by selling a ring for $40 to a local pawn shop. This, in conjunction with the time he'd spent in jail for cashing invalid checks, highlighted William
Oh,
Post's
shit.
awful money management skills and acted as foreshadowing for how poorly his lottery win was eventually going to be spent. Only 84 days after receiving the $16.2 million, William Post had spent the entire fortune on a boat, a lease for a restaurant in Florida, a used car lot, as well as a private.
All right. He said a lease for a business in Florida. You don't lease a restaurant. Like, that's just
jet.
ridiculous.
However, even after all of the money had been spent, Post took
Or
on a
the-
further 500.
Or don't buy a freaking private jet. And yes, you might be able to afford it, but you have to do the maintenance. You have to hire your flight staff. You have to pay to keep it in the hangar. You have to pay to put the expensive jet fuel in it. Like, it's just, don't waste your money on
loan
shit
to
like
purchase
that.
a mansion in Oil City, Pennsylvania. The problem was that William hadn't actually purchased the original ticket himself and had rather given the money to his girlfriend who had bought the winning ticket for him. Because of this, she was able to successfully sue him for 1/3 of the winnings, meaning that Post now owed $5.4 million to his ex-girlfriend from the $16.2 million that he no longer had. Winning
Hey, I
ticket
missed that.
for him. However,
What?
even after all of the money had been spent, Post took on a further $500,000 loan to purchase a mansion in Oil City, Pennsylvania. The problem
Yeah.
was that William hadn't actually purchased the original ticket himself.
Oh,
and had rather
no.
given the money to his girlfriend who had bought the winning ticket for him. Because of this, she was able to successfully sue him for 1/3 of the winnings, meaning that
Only
Post now owed
1/3?
$5.4 million to his ex-girlfriend.
I would think that
for
would
the
be-
$16.2 million that he no longer
She
had.
has
Since Post was
completed
unable to make this
everything.
payment, the judge ordered that his bank account be frozen until he was able to come up with the money. However, before he was able to sell enough stuff to pay the $5.4 million, William was arrested and ordered to serve a 6 to 24-month prison term for an assault charge from 6 years prior. Toward the end of his life,
What?
Post was on his 7th marriage with over $1 million in debt and was getting by on food
Seventh
stamps and a job paying
marriage?
$450 per month. However, William Post still doesn't have the craziest lottery win story of all time.
Ah,
That title goes
dude.
to Andrew Jackson Whitaker.
Why are
whose
these the
life
people that
changed
win
forever
it
after winning
and not me, huh?
$315 million back in 2002. Unlike almost everyone else in this video, Whitaker was actually quite successful prior to winning the lottery, having built up a net worth of over $17 million with the assistance of his construction company. And while this would imply that he was in a position to manage a large lottery win, this
He's from
isn't what
Texas,
would
right?
happen. Whitaker
He has to
instantly
be.
donated 10% of the winnings to
He's on Fox
churches,
News. He's
Christian
from
groups, and spent a further $14 million establishing the Jack Whitaker Foundation, which provided free food and clothing for low-income families in West Virginia.
Obviously,
Okay.
you're doing God's work with all this money.
Yes, I am. I'm helping a lot of people, and I plan to help a lot more.
He then drove back to
Good.
the convenience store where he had purchased the ticket before giving the clerk a $44,000 check, a
Nice.
$103,000 house, and a brand new Jeep Cherokee, which was followed by
Wow.
Whitaker buying himself a Lamborghini, in which he drove
Ah.
around his neighborhood throwing money out of the window. After
Whoa.
flaunting this wealth, his Lamborghini was broken into, where thieves
Oh.
stole $545,000 in cash.
Dude, that's that sucks. That sucks.
However, this apparently
probably
wasn't
would've
much of a
given it
wake-up
to him.
call, as his car was then broken into for the second time, resulting in the loss of a further $200,000 cash. Jack
Jesus.
Whitaker's granddaughter passed away, his daughter then passed away, which was
Oh,
followed by a
no.
divorce with his wife.
And now you've lost your granddaughter. You're about to be divorced from your wife. Where does this ever end?
Leading him to state that he had lost everything,
I pretty much lost everything I owe.
healthier in my life.
You got lots of
That
money.
sucks.
Money has never meant anything to me. You have to have money to exist in this world, but money doesn't rule the world. Money is not what
This is
makes
the most
people
saddest
And then he
story
wished
we
he
got
had never
yet.
purchased the lottery ticket in the first place.
happy. My wife had said she'd wished that she'd torn the ticket up. Well, I wish that we had torn the ticket up too. I just don't like what I've become.
Well, there we have it, guys. Whoa. That's a little bit of a preview for the next one. But dude, that was some craziness, huh? I don't know which one I would say would be the most craziest in my opinion. I would say it's going to be this lady right here, the one that freaking was still taking the welfare checks. Like it takes a special person. So why don't you put down below on what you thought was the craziest winner, and what you would do with the money. But in the meantime, I will catch you guys next time. Peace.